Get Rich Slow with John Wolf. Hey, today I want to go over the 5 most common questions I get about home loans. Now, the first has to do with taxes and insurance. And I'm not talking amount, but people ask me if that's being rolled into the loan, if that's part of my closing costs, and the answer is no, you can't roll that into your loan, and yes, that is part of your closing costs. So when you do a home loan, and it matters what month of the year we're in, we have to put enough money in an escrow account in order to pay the taxes when they're due, usually once a year in Oregon, twice a year in Washington. Now, some loan types with certain down payment amounts, you have the option of not doing an escrow account. However, you get a discount for allowing us to pay the taxes and the insurance for you. The next question I get super often is, again, are the closing costs, can they be included in the loan? And the answer to that is unfortunately no. All residential lending, VA, conventional, FHA, the closing costs can't be rolled into the loan. So it has to either be out of your pocket at closing, or you can actually negotiate with the seller credit to get that paid. So there's sort of a back way of putting it into the loan, but you can't directly put it into the loan. Next question I get is there a way of doing like a no cost loan where there aren't any costs? Really, no, but I can make it happen that way. And what am I talking about? Well, check my video about points and interest rate, and check my video about things big lenders don't want you to know. So I could charge you a higher than the standard interest rate and then use that credit to pay all your closing costs. But the costs exist no matter what. Ballpark, the minimum hard cost for doing a home loan is $3,000 to $4,000, and that cost has to be borne somewhere, whether it's by you directly or by another party, but it's not free. So you end up paying for it one way or the other. The next question I get a lot is, why do I have to pay for the appraisal up front, or do I have to pay for the appraisal up front? And then even after you've paid, why does it show as a cost on all the loan documents I'm going to send you? Okay, so that's very important. So if you are not a VA loan, then you pay for the appraisal up front. And one of the main reasons for that is it's a real cost that is borne outside of our company. So if something happens, if you just decide not to go through with the transaction, you're not fined, we don't charge you a fee or anything, but if the appraisal's already been done, you do have to pay for that hard cost done by a third-party vendor. Now, it shows up on your loan cost documents because it's one of the real costs that's part of your loan. The good news is, if for some reason there is too much money at the very end, we can actually refund you that. So you can actually be refunded that out of seller credit as well. And the last question that I get pretty often is, hey, what happens if the appraisal comes in really high, and what happens if the appraisal comes in low? So if the appraiser comes in high, that's great. It is an indication you made a good buy. It doesn't change anything about your loan math, unfortunately. Now, it might change if we're able to do an appraisal, or sorry, a refinance in the next year or not. Now, if the appraisal comes in low, that's not the end of the world. And basically, it's just the beginning of a new negotiation. So let's say $500,000 house, that's what you agreed to pay for it, but the appraiser says, hey, their opinion, it's only worth $490. And the rule, as far as lending is, the loan to value, everything else about the loan math, we have to go by the lower of the purchase price and the appraised amount. So there's this like $10,000. So solutions for that, you could put $10,000 more down of just the down payment amount, or, and it's usually some combination of 3 things, or the seller could decrease the cost $10,000, or you could meet in the middle, and then also we can do what's called a reconsideration of value. So if the real estate agents look at the appraisal, think that it wasn't done perfectly, we can write up a form and send it in, and the actual value consideration of the home will be redone, and it might come up with a higher number. About half the time that I do that, it does come up with a higher number, and a lot of times all 3 happens. Like the buyer ends up putting a tiny bit more money in, the seller gives a discount, and we get a reconsideration value, and all 3 happen. So I hope that you found that interesting. Please get back to me with more questions. I love answering them. Have an awesome day. Bye.